What's up, headbangers? Welcome to another installment of Brewed In Metal. I got to have a chat with Tomas from Swedish death metal band Lick. They've got an upcoming album called Necro. It's going to be released on April the 18th via Metal Blade Records. It's a great album, guys. Do yourself a favor. It's worth listening to. So we've got to talk about the album. We talked about his musical influence. And we also talked about the underground scene in Sweden and Australia. So I really hope you guys enjoy the interview. Tomas, thank you so much for joining Headbangs Australia. It's great to have you on. We're really excited to hear the album Necro in a couple of days. It's not that long to its release. How's the lead up been to the album? How's the hype been so far to the lead up?
It's been good. We had a couple of problems with lots of the recording was the easy part, and then getting the artwork and getting the artwork printed properly and making videos and stuff like that. We're always very late. Music's first, and then and then we're always very, very late. So we're always stressed out when when we are going to deliver on our end to the record labels. Ready for release. The album has been sent out here in Sweden to some people. So yeah. They seem happy, so I hope people are happy. I don't know. I'm happy.
I got to listen to the album. Metal Blade Records, they sent us a copy. I liked it. I liked it. It's very, it's death metal. It's very old school. It's got some new stuff elements. I like the tones, the leads.
Cool.
I like some of the leads. I like some of the like for me the standout tracks that I personally like was it In Wounds, Morgue, and then I know that the song Deceased. That was your homage to your influence Entombed, from what I've read.
Yeah, sure.
Also I liked A Field of Death. That was it. So many good tracks on it, and I think that people that love your music, love Lick, or haven't heard of the band before, are going to love that kind of element of that old school death metal, incorporating to the kind of sound. So I guess that going into the album when you're making the music, did you feel that the sound has evolved compared to your last two records?
Maybe the sound, but not death metal. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But we just try to make music that we feel that we feel happy with, and this time we focused on a bit more mid-paced songs, or how not just skank beat all the time, because we wanted to have something or more variety in the live sets when we play live. So we figured we could use a little bit of more this kind of tracks to up the live game a bit, or game, I don't know, but just we wanted to make something different for ourselves,
Yeah.
And I think we accomplished that, so that's great. But it's nothing new. It's just death metal. It's what it is. It's great genre.
Oh man, yeah, it's an awesome drama. I actually grew up listening to Swedish death metal. When I was, my influence. I'm looking at old school Hypocrisy, At the Gate, probably In Flames in the early days. Then pretty much got more involved in Swedish metal more in the other dramas, and I always got appealed by that metal in Sweden because I always found that the Swedish metal was really, I felt more bond with me musically for me. I just liked how it sounded, like the tones, I forgot. I can't remember bring up the name, but I know that there was a recording studio back in the days in Sweden when they were making that sound.
Sunlight.
Yeah, and it had the At the Gate records, one of the early records.
Oh yeah, and that's Studio Fred. Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Sunlight.
Yeah. And I just like those sounds, that come out of it, and so I guess that when you're doing your recordings for the album Necro, guys, how did these guys do work with your tones? Did you reamp the guitars? Did you do ARs? Because I like the bass tone. The bass tone was one of my favorites in the tones.
Yeah, it's great. It is always a DI, everything record. So Lawrence McRory, the producer, he can reamp everything. But we record everything live. We have the amps in a different room, but we just kind of get the feeling and then get the drums done. And then we just fix all our parts that we fuck up in the live take, and then next song, So yeah.
Oh, awesome.
And then Lawrence does his magic with mixing. I don't know exactly what he does, but he reamps the guitars, of course. We always used my 5150 head with 1960 Marshall cabinet and the HM2 pedal. That's what it is. Nothing special.
Awesome.
It's just a perfect fit. That 5150 head and the Marshall 1960A or what it's called, something like that.
Yeah,
that's great.
As long as it does the job and these guys are happy, that's the main thing. But I really like the tones, and I thought that because I felt that when I listened to the music, like even your other albums, that it's well produced, because I think you've had the same producer since
forever,
forever, and it's probably a good chemistry because you go into the studio, he knows what you guys are after, and I think that you've got a good chemistry because you've been doing a lot of records with him, and the sound that he comes out is very consistent. So when you listen to the past records of Flick, you can see what it is death metal. It's very well defined because the music stands out. The vocals that you do, it lets it shine in. The bass holds its own, the drums shine through. So it's a good produced record, and it's something that I'm really think that you guys. I'm really happy that you guys get that kind of sound because it's really good producing. I really love the production of it, man.
Cool. I'm saying thank you in the name of Lawrence.
Mate, just to get to know you a bit more, growing up as a musician, what was your influence, as a musician, for you to, basically for you learning how to guitar, singing? What was your main influence growing up?
Guns N' Roses and Metallica, I would say, and then into heavier stuff. But I think my father taught me to play some guitar basic stuff, and then I found Slash, the coolest guy, and then it went into heavier stuff like Metallica, and then early Napalm Death and stuff like that, But then when I discovered Dismember, like an ever-flowing stream, I was like, this is how it's supposed to sound. So, but of course, other guitarists and stuff like that shaped everything, And nowadays I've been listening for like a band called Jimmy Eat World for like more than 10 years, I would say.
Yeah, they're
like an American emo rock band or something like that. They're fucking great.
They do make good music.
Yeah. So I listen to a lot of different. I'm very. I listen to a lot of different style of kind of music, but various, like this artist in that kind of music and that artist in that kind of music. So it's very, particular, but still a lot of different styles and stuff.
Awesome.
I guess that has impact on songwriting and melodies and whatever.
Awesome,
it's the
man.
key.
Pretty much, I'll let you know, pretty much our channel, we pretty much film like local underground scenes in Australia. So we got a lot of good death metal bands in Australia coming through, and then we pretty much put them on YouTube, promote them, advertise it, just to give them the exposure for the local underground scene. Thank you. What's the scene like in Sweden these days, the underground scene in Sweden?
It's I think it's quite good actually. There are a lot of young bands coming out playing death metal and thrash metal and all that stuff. So it's really, I think it's quite healthy actually, especially I don't know, but in Stockholm there are a few really young bands that are really good, playing. There's a band called Exorcist with an X.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how old they're, maybe in the 20s or something like that. They're really cool, And then some friends of mine called Catacomba. I think
Yep.
they're like 25 years old or something like that. They're really, really good. Yeah. So it's like we have a couple of cool bands.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool actually.
Well, mate, I gotta start listening to their music. Hopefully, they recorded some stuff on Spotify. I mean, I'll be able to listen to some tunes because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like.
sure. They have. You should check out the band from Malmö also. It's called Interremo. They're really cool, brutal guys.
Okay, cool.
Interremo. Yeah, I think
Okay,
yeah.
awesome, awesome. I'm definitely gonna listen to that because we've got some good death metal bands too in Australia. Excuse
Yeah.
me. We've got a band called Anoxia, so they've toured with Running Cries
Okay.
last year. They also toured Left to Die, which is the members of Death, so
Yeah.
they played them as well. They've got an
Cool.
album release, so they're a good band. I recommend for you to listen to as well. They're pretty much the underground. So we've
Nice.
got I say yeah, that Onox is probably one of my favorites to stand out as well.
Yeah.
Well, also there's a band called Gossica, so they've just done like an EP. They're the local in Wollongong, so they've got some good stuff.
Gossica.
Gossica, yeah,
Yeah.
Gossica, yeah. It's we spell it, but if you it's Gossika. I think that's how you spell it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got more into the technical kind of death metal, which
Okay.
is good sound. What else? Snake Mountain. They're from up in Queensland. They've also got very good technical as well. And a singer also does YouTube as well. So he runs a production called Everlast Productions. So
Okay.
so he's also doing that on the side. Um, and yeah, I was saying we've got another band called Kind of Visua, so they support it now. So we've got a good talent
Yeah.
of death metal coming in Australia. Like we've got a good
Nice.
scene,
Nice.
um, it's a very like the death metal scene when it comes to death metal bands, like it's always full. Every gig's always filled up. It's very full, so
Okay.
and it's always fun. So it's a good vibe in our local scene in Australia with the death metal elements.
Cool.
Um, I was I was doing some research on Leek. Has Leek ever toured Australia?
No.
Uh,
No. No. It's
yeah,
too
so
far away now.
I know it's too far away. I know it's
Yeah.
too far away.
No, we haven't played. We have a new booking agency though,
Yeah,
which who has Australia on their uh, you know in their booking area. So it might happen. Who knows? Who knows?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I like to see Leek come to Australia. Because I know that realistically, to do it from Europe to come to this side of the world, it needs to
Yeah.
be tenable. You need to make sure that you go to New Zealand, Asia. Yeah, because just
Yeah.
make sure it goes into that role. Otherwise, you go all its way. It's got to be it's got to be tenable. I say.
Yeah.
And I think
Sure.
that if Leak does come to Australia, I think that I mentioned with all these death metal bands, you'll be having a good support with these guys, and I think and a lot of people will embrace your music because they love that old school death metal sound. They love that vibe that you guys produce. Some may have heard Flick, some may have not. So this video will, they'll get to listen to the music and they'll get to
Yeah.
be exposed by listening to your music to reach those audience. And I think that, if you guys do come to Australia one day, it's going to be a good tour for you guys because we've got a lot of underground bands, death metal, that would be good to support. And a lot of good promoters are willing to promote the tour for you guys as well, man. As
That
I
sounds
said, because, yeah, Because I always wanted to go to Sweden. It's always been part of my bucket list.
Okay.
Because I said I've been influenced by Sweden death metal, and all the other drummers in Sweden. So if I go to Sweden, is there any places that you recommend where I can go check out places like for gigs or just just the vibe of the Swedish scene, just to get a vibe of that atmosphere over there?
Uh, there aren't really any, death metal places,
Yeah,
that kind of sense, but there are some rock bars and stuff like that. But there usually are gigs everywhere, and when there's a gig, there usually are metal people there. So I can't say there's a place to go to really, but there's a pub called Pub Anchor, which is a classic like rock pub that's been there forever.
yeah.
Uh, that's a cool place. It's every day open till like late in the middle of the night, and you have the record store Sound Pollution, which that you have to go to, which is really cool. It's also been there for, like forever. When I was a kid, I went there, spent all my money on records. So
Yeah,
that's cool.
awesome.
But there are, I'm shitty on shit. I'm lousy with coming up with good ideas to visit
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It's you get, I don't know what you call it. You get I live here, so I'm like,
yeah. You just sort of come. Yeah, someone's asked me, what's a good place to go to in Sydney? I'll be like, the bush. I like, because the bush nature, because I like that, and people, oh, well, what about the opera house? Okay, yeah, if you like to look at buildings, yeah, that's
yeah,
live
sure.
there, because I live there. It's
Yeah.
like if you like to look at buildings, yeah, it's next to the ocean, sea, ocean, yeah. But I like the bush because it's more nature. Because I'm only about 10 minutes from the outskirts of Sydney, so I'll go to the more to the bush and the Australian bush. So if you do come to
Yeah.
Australia, I do recommend, if you do like your nature, the Australian bush is really really awesome. It's very
Cool.
relaxing and calm. So and
Is it relaxing? I only know about all the dangerous animals in,
oh,
you
what kind of
know,
animals do you know? What kind of animals? I can. What
you
kind
have like
of?
venomous spiders and snakes and shit like that.
Oh, nah, man, nah. Like I won't lie to you. Like I probably, when I go to do my bushwalking, I have seen two snakes. Like I'm like whoa, but then they don't come and attack. They're just defensive. If you stay away, you stay still, or you just don't go near the snake, you'll be fine. And the spiders, they're just like normal insects, they don't come in the house. And so what you heard, man, it's just myths, but it's safe, man. If you ever heard that we had kangaroos in the back in our backyard, that's not true as well. So it's just a normal place, just like everywhere in the world, man. Before we wrap it up, man, is there anything that you want to say to our audience or to the people that support it, League?
Oh, I would just thank you for listening, and
Yeah,
it's I don't know, it's an honor to be, to be able to make music and people listening to it because they think it's great. I think that's an honor. It's really cool. It's really cool. That's all I have to say.
oh, awesome, man.
I'm not that good at speeches, but it's just,
That's
I'm
all good,
very
man.
grateful, to be able to do this kind of stuff, and it's really rewarding that, people are people seem to be so into it. It's really, it's fun. I never imagined I would, that people would care about what I did, So yeah.
No, man, we're really. It's a good album. Nero going to be released on 18th of April via Metal Blade Records. Do yourself a favor, guys. listen to the album, you know, streaming, or even better, get the records, support the band. And we really appreciate your time, man. Awesome chat, man. Awesome chat. I really enjoyed your time. Enjoy the rest of the night back in Sweden. And hopefully we'll get to see you in Australia. And hopefully hopefully I'll take you to the bushwalking so I can show them. There's no spiders. It's all good. Just nice, nice. You know,
that would be cool. Yeah, that would be really cool.
You know, and if you want to see the buildings, I'll go, okay, here's the opera house. All right, mate, enjoy the rest of your night, brother, and hopefully we'll see you around in Australia in the future.
Yeah, cool. Take care.